Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. Today we're looking at Divine Right. This is Image Comics. This is by Jim Lee and Scott Williams. This was a big deal for me. I really love this premise, and we'll talk about the premise inside the comic. But I knew who Jim Lee was. If everybody knew who Jim Lee was, he was hot off the X-Men. But it wasn't Jim Lee's art that drew me to this comic. It was it was the premise. I just, for whatever reason, I gravitated towards the concept behind this book. Now, full disclosure, I wasn't a big fan of early Image. It was around 2000 or so that I became a big fan of Image Comics. They kind of like started to focus on good writing. But early Image, let's be honest, it was art. It was formed by artists. It wasn't formed by writers. And they had to woo a lot of writers to their side to make the comics good. So this was one of the first comics that I got for the writing. The art was just an added bonus. I'm big into writing. Now, I started with number one. I'm a logical person. Number one. I didn't know that there was a preview comic before this. So I remember being disappointed because, in case you're joining us, there's all of this of what's going on already. And I was like, but I have the first issue. That's not fair. And I still believe that. Like, the first issue should be, newbie friendly. If in case you're joining us, true to their name, blah, 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 that always bothered me, that you get the first issue of something and it's already continued. Like, I understand, like, Silver Surfer debuted in Fantastic Four, and then later on he got his own. But it was a good jumping on. When you got Silver Surfer number one, I'm talking about the John Buscema Stanley. It filled you in on everything. So this is dependent upon a preview issue that I didn't know existed, and at the time it was hard for me to find. But I got it. So this is 1997 first printing, and there you go. That's the indie show. But as I said, I really, really liked it. So let's look at the, this is not the credit. Okay, so here we have excellent art. Just look at the excellent art. Look at the coloring. I think the credits are at the back. So what do we have? This ominous headquarters. This one of the things I really liked about it, because Image at this point was a cohesive universe. Like, I don't know if Savage Dragon was part of this universe or what, I kind of forget that. But this Wildstorm stuff all fit together. It was the way Marvel was. So Gen 13, one of the agents of Gen 13, one of the heroes in Gen 13, Burnout, his father was the super spy whose name is escaping me, and he works for IO, and this was their headquarters. So, I love that when there's a cohesive universe, when things work together, but we're seeing different aspects of the same world. The world is big. It can have multiple stories. And I really dug this. And just check out, I don't know if that's a real gun or not, but it looks real to me. Somebody said to me, I think it was Marcus Kellegrew, that what we strive for is believability, not realism. And I believe this gun. This looks really cool. So again, anybody a gun guy, they can tell me. But just look at this. And the storytelling is good. I see what's going on. We got this ominous building. We don't know if it's good or bad. I'm talking about just through the artwork, not the story. And who are these people? That's obviously a bad guy. This woman is protecting something. And boom, 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 boom. I got to pull back. Look at this. Double page spread. I like a double page spread as much as the next guy, but I found that Image kind of over abused it to the point where it kind of lost its allure. But this is a good one. Look at that. She's jumping. She's being heroic. She's firing at these monsters. And here we have the credits. So inks in baggy eyes by Scott Williams. Story and pictures by Jim Lee. So Jim Lee is writing. He's doing the art, layouts, pencils, and then Scott Williams is doing the inks. And colors by Joe Chiato, who is a phenomenal artist in his own right, and Richard Starkings and Comicraft. They do a lot of the lettering for Marvel and DC at this point. Probably DC. Marvel, Image, probably DC at this point. So we got this ad that just tricked me for a minute. I was like, I don't remember that page, but here we go. I like this. Different angle. Just monsters, look at this. It even though she's killing it, maggots are flying out. It is just epic. Who are these people? That's Christy Blaze. She showed up in a couple of other Image comics. She's like a an IO agent. IO is the Eternal Intelligence Operations. I forget exactly what it was, but it's basically SHIELD. It's this, comic books, you got that trope of the super spy organization. And then we cut to a nice suburban home. This kid is being all nerdy. He's flirting with his online girlfriend. Guys, in case you're too young to remember, in 1997, the 90s, this was a thing. People would have cyber girlfriends, I met my wife online. So, I met my wife online like, almost 10 years after this. But, it's still a thing. But back then, it was message boards and, chat rooms and things like that. Nowadays, it's more direct messaging and whatever. I guess Tinder and Grindr for you youngins. And his cool sporto, I forget if it's his brother or his friend, look at that. You know what I mean? This is just such a trope. Back then in 1997, guys, in the way, way dark days of the barbaric times before the Enlightenment, comic book nerds and computer nerds were not cool. They were not cool. The sporto guys were cool. Girls didn't do cosplay. If girls wanted male attention, they dressed up as cheerleaders, and they flirted. Girls back then didn't put on Spider-Gwen costumes and stuff like that. Why? Because nerds were still the social outcasts, and the comic books were better. So he's teasing him. We're going to go out and meet real girls. And he's like, well, I got a girlfriend or whatever. He's like, yeah, whatever. And he's like describing what this girl may or may not look like, because he doesn't know. He hasn't seen her yet. So he's just like, fighting with him. Let's go out. And whatever. He's laughing at him. He's making fun of him. So his friend's getting a little annoyed. And here he is just talking with his real or not real internet girlfriend. It would be funny to cut scene and you see like a big fat guy eating jelly beans or something like that, but whatever. The bottom line is he's staying home on his computer when his buddies are going out. So now the agent Christy Blaze, she goes into like a Kinko's kind of place, a computer place. So also keep a note, in the way dark times of the mid 90s or late 90s, not everybody had, like, this was before cell phones. Not everybody had, this is before smartphones, cell phones. Not everybody had like a good computer internet access. So there was places that you went to, like, Kinko's, like even home offices, like right over here. I got an excellent printer and everything like that. I could do everything that this place does from my disgusting little area over here. But you went to places that, Kinko's even still around, but she's going into a Kinko's place. And what does she do? She's downloading this information. Because these demonic, just cool looking. This is just Image in its full glory. Look at these colors. They really jump out. This is Jim Lee in his full glory. I do believe Jim Lee got better and better and better to the point when he went back to DC, did Batman, was just outstanding. But he's already upping it up to 11 over here. And these monsters are eating Skittles. And here she is. I think this was a variant cover of Christy Blaze. Just a side note, I love characters like Nick Fury, and why can't I think of the agent's name? But I love when there's like the leader of the Suicide Squad, Rick Flag, Christy Blaze. Even the Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson. That's the actress's name, but Natasha. I love when there's a non-powered, highly trained character among the superheroes, and nobody bats an eye. I don't know what it is. I love that. I love that. Even Batman, I still consider a superhero. He's got a costume. He's got the whole mystique going around. But I love when there's like a highly trained spy or military personnel like embedded with a super team. I don't know why. So I have a soft spot for these type of characters. And this is such the Image. These flat laser guns and blam blam blam. There's a fight. All these poor customers who had they just had the unfortunate timing of being in this Kinko's at the time. They're just getting eliminated. Bullets do nothing against these guys, and blammo, she's killed. Or is she? Hard to argue with that. And this guy's like, oh my God, what's going on? And no witnesses. Here comes this bad guy, Wraith, that he just comes in and he's like, what's going on? She doesn't have the data so what did she do? She uploaded the this information into the computers and sent it out. Now, what was this information called? It was now I'm blanking out on it, but it was like a that's gonna drive me nuts. But the creation equation. It's definitely goofing on the anti-life equation from Darkseid. So he's pissed off, and he does what horrible leaders do. He just eliminates the leader of he Darth Vader's him. He chokes him out. He kills him. And here we go. This information has been transposed. It's uploaded, and here is Max Faraday. You know, he's talking to his girlfriend. His buddy over here is looking at porn. You know, and they're being typical. This is my only criticism about this book, which I really love. Again, I don't showcase comics that I don't love. Is these are supposed to be teenagers. This guy looks like he's 35. Throughout comic history, not Image, Marvel, all of them. I said not Image. Including Image, including Marvel, including DC, they always had a problem drawing young people. I read X-Men comics for 10 years. So I started at like 75, and it was around 85 when the Secret Wars came out, and the Thing called Cyclops a kid. And I remember that gave me a pause, and I stopped because Cyclops, and I know Cyclops is supposed to be this, a stickler. He's supposed to be uptight, and he's the responsible one. But I never thought of him as a kid, because of his powers. He was given responsibilities, and he had to have like willpower beyond his age. But I still never thought of him as a kid. Bobby Drake I always thought of as a kid. So that was, shocking to me because they were drawn like adults, And again, I was a little kid at the time, so 21, 22-year-olds were adults. But I look at that. Is that a kid? This guy's a 40-year-old computer scientist. You know what I mean? It's just comic book failure. So they're looking at this information that was inadvertently sent to them. And then, this is the hot sister that the friend is perving on. Look at that. Can you blame him? He's male, flesh and blood. So now this guy probably would have got this. The incident probably would have affected him, but he got distracted by that. Can you blame him? And he's doing a little bit of flirty, and ba-boom, this kid takes the what is it called? The creation equation full on in the face. The computer's exploded. His brain is like working overtime. Look at this phone. Oh my God, I love that. This is a wall phone, ladies and gentlemen. This is before cell phones. We had phones on the walls. Hell, this looks like it's even before wireless phones. But in 1997, they had wireless phones. Yeah, I remember we had them at my going away party back in 1992. So yeah, I guess whatever. Artistic choice. Look at the destruction over here from back in the city. This cops. We got to figure everything out. Just excellent storytelling, guys. I haven't read this comic in 25 years, and I'm remembering all this stuff. The only thing I had to look up was the name of the computer program, the creation equation, and I did it flawlessly while doing this video. You guys didn't notice that I stumbled, right? So now we're going to Jerusalem. It's a worldwide plot. I love that. Conspiracies. Throw in a good conspiracy. And then again, these colors are just awesome, really good. And I know it's going to sound hypocritical me talking about these colors because I love the older pre-computer colored stuff, but it fits this comic. If this was drawn in a John Buscema style, or if John Buscema drew this and it was colored like this, I think it would bother me. But I've never seen Jim Lee in anything but color. Computer colors, if that makes sense. So it feels naturally to me. Look at these ads. This is what an ad executive thought a cool kid in 1997 looked like. Hot sis is like, "Are you okay?" He's all bandaged up. He's like, "Are you okay? What's going on?" And he's the computer nerd, and he is the nerdy nerd. He's going off to work even after the explosion because he's going to go deliver pizza. And all the demons are going to get to him. So, all right, let's look at this Hip Flask. This is excellent. Elephant Man was an excellent comic. Can't recommend it enough. Phantom Guard. This looks cool. Writer by Ben Roethler and artist Ryan Benjamin. I'm sorry, but I don't know about this. But again, when this came out, I was super broke. So I could only get comics that really, sparked my interest. So I might go back and check this out. Stormwatch, this was excellent. This was absolutely excellent. But this looks good. Phantom Guard. Does anybody read Phantom Guard? Black Ops DV8. I got this because DV8 was the evil version of Gen 13. It was like the sister comic that, you know, one was the bad guy version and one was the good guy version. I thought it was excellent. And what is this? Wild Core. I didn't get this. Okay, so here's all the ads. You know, I have no problem showing comics that came out this long ago. So, what is the premise? Christy Blaze, super secret agent, discovers the creation equation, steals it away from the bad guys. What is the creation equation? It's, you know, it's the same kind of thing that Darkseid's looking for, the anti-life equation. She downloads it through the internet, and this, I love the fact that he's like ripped and like all muscular and everything. Like, I think it was poor. Like, he should have been a skinny, wimpy, nerdy kid. He gets this creation equation and he's physically transformed. You know, that's what I think. But it's the same premise as Chuck. Chuck gets the intersect downloaded into his brain, you know, and that was like 10 years later. So this preceded it by 10. It's, you know, I know I've seen that premise somewhere else where, you know, you inadvertently get information downloaded directly into your brain from the internet. So now he gets divine right. He gets like the cosmic power. He's the power cosmic. He is like the ultimate being. And it just really is good. It goes into cosmic intrigue, you know, ancient history, you know, all fake comic book ancient history, of course, and super heroics. It was a good comic. You could tell I'm excited about it. I put it on my stack and to showcase a long time ago. And then as I get excited about comics, I put them on top of the stack, and I kind of forgot about it until last night. I was showing off comics that I want to showcase, and I was like, oh, ooh, and I pulled it out, put it on top of the pile because I really dug this. And it's funny because I've said that I wasn't really a Jim Lee fan, and now that I look about this, I've been doing nothing but gushing about Jim Lee, so I guess I gotta revise. It's funny how memory plays tricks on you. You know, what have you done for me lately? I haven't seen a Jim Lee comic lately, so I guess I forgot about. At one point, I was super excited about him. I had a friend back in Albuquerque. He would he was broke too, you know, we're college friends, but we would go to the comic store and. As you know, I'm like, all right, what did you buy? Nothing. And I'm like, what do you got? He would rip pages out of comics that he liked. So he would flip through comics and like rip out like splash pages of Jim and steal them, ruin the comics for other people. That's how much of a Jim Lee fan he was. I thought he was a jerk for ruining other people's comics, but you know what I mean? Whatever. All right, so I'll see you tomorrow with another video. Bye-bye.